Listen up, hockey fans. You're in the right place. A no-hold-barred debate between two hockey fans. Stay up to date on current issues in the NHL, even the controversial ones. Welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud.
It is time for the Debate Hockey Podcast, episode 72. It's our second one of season 3. I'm the host of the show, Brad Burud, joined alongside my co-host each and every week, Blake Friars. And tonight, Blake, I feel like garbage.
Yep, that was my turn last week and your turn this week.
Last week you battled through a sickness. This week, it is, it's kicking my butt big time. I don't even know how I'm going to make it through here. And when I do get done, I am going to take a shower and I'm going to bed. So, on the bright side of things, last week you were sick. This week I am sick. Let's get this out of the way because next week, the regular season starts for the National Hockey League.
Can't wait.
Wednesday night. I'm a little disappointed my team doesn't play Wednesday night and yours doesn't. Yours does.
We play Edmonton.
Yeah.
Easy win.
Yeah. Question for you here as Blake sits here with a Vancouver Canucks jersey on.
Lees Pedersen.
Do we
the boys.
Do we get the or not the Sharpie, but the X-Acto knife out and cut the Vancouver off the thing?
Yeah, I know. I got to update my jersey. Got to get the 50th patch on there, too.
You know what you should do is you should get the black skate logo jersey.
Yeah, I was thinking about ordering a Quinn Hughes jersey.
Oh, geez.
Or a Brock Besser jersey, one of the two.
There you go. I'm with you on the
Hughes or Besser, one of the two.
Besser, that's an easy decision. My gosh, yeah. What are you even thinking there? Does this preseason seem really long and quite honestly not very entertaining?
Well, I mean, all the games seem to be spread out. I mean, there's a game here and there, then there's a lot of games one day. But I've always been a proponent in that 7-8 preseason games is just not needed. I mean, you need 4 max.
No, I'm going to argue this.
I mean,
the first 3 are irrelevant to the starter. They're all just you're
rookies.
But I think it's good to
That's what you got rookie camp for.
No. Blake, hear me out here now. It's good to get these guys that aren't going to play NHL games this year to get the jersey on and play in that home arena. Because if you need to call upon one of them later in the year, at least they know the show. You got to admit that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, then 5 games max. You reduce it by 3 games. You don't need 8 games.
They're not. Most of them are playing 7, Blake.
The Canucks play 7 or 8. That's too much.
I don't know.
Too much.
Anyways, I don't know. It's been not very entertaining. This year we don't have that guy that's like tearing it up and scoring a ton of goals, and then when the season comes, he just falls off the face of the earth. Yeah. Who was the Oiler last year that was on the line with McDavid just like tearing up preseason? And
it was.
You probably picked him in their first round of your fantasy draft.
Ratty.
Yeah, there you go. You picked him in the first round, didn't you?
Never.
Come on, Blake.
I did not.
You picked him in the first round. No. He was going to be the stud of the year. And
I ain't that dumb.
Yeah. Where's he at now? Playing in Belgium?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't even think he's in the NHL.
We have 2 more shows before the regular season starts. This show is going to be pretty dang cool. I kind of like what we're doing in this show. We're going to go through Vegas makes their point predictions each and every year. And we're going to tell you if we think that team is going to go above it and score more points or below it and score less points. Not goals. I'm talking points in the standings. Then we're going to talk about just some news and notes around the league, talk a little preseason hockey, and
talk about a couple bargain deals.
A couple signings, a couple unsigned. Kind of roll through that. And then next week is our much anticipated show that we do every year where we do predictions, and then we get to make fun of each other the whole rest of the year. If you're going to Vegas and you bet, come listen to the show next week and do the opposite of what Blake says. He had the Oilers winning the cup 2 years ago. Yes, the Oilers winning the cup. You did, buddy. Remember that? You won't live that down. I will not let you live that down.
You make one good prediction and you just bash me. That's not how that works.
Well, we'll get into the predictions more, but that's not next week's episode. This week's is going to be good. It's going to be entertaining. I will fight through the sickness the cold and the garbage, and we'll make a good go of it here. Team projections first around the league. We'll talk Point, Besser, CBA, Bufflin's no-show, Ottawa praise, Line A trade bait. It's all on this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast. A big thanks goes out to our sponsor, UBGM. You know, it's weekly contest, only a weekly contest or daily fantasy hockey that doesn't cost you money. It's the first one that it's just no money. It's all pride. Blake and I got some exciting news coming up with that here in the weeks to come. We're going to host a show, or not a show, a contest each and every week where you can challenge us and get the fans involved, and then we can all make fun of each other and tell each other how great we are. Go to ubgm.com/the debate. It's the first and only daily fantasy hockey app designed specially for hockey fans. The NHL season is fast approaching, and the season-long fantasy draft will soon be closed. There are lots of great options for hosting your season-long fantasy hockey pools, but not for daily fantasy hockey. Enter UBGM, the first and only daily fantasy hockey app designed and built specifically for hockey fans. They're launching later this season. Sign up at ubgm.com/the debate and be one of the first to get a sneak peek. ubgm.com. We love hockey. All right, Blake. NHL team point projections. I found this article on the Sports Geek by Brenton Kemp. Mm-hmm. Good article. He used Bet Online, took a look at their odds, and then he picked if he thought the team was going to finish above that or below that point total that Vegas put on it. And I started thinking about that. It's be kind of good to talk about. Kind of fun. Go through each and every team. Blake and I can give our predictions, tell each other how crazy we are, and talk a little bit about the teams ahead of our show next week, which we break it down next week. We tell you how they're going to finish in their division. We're going to tell you who makes the playoffs. We're going to give you our Western Conference champion, our Eastern Conference champion, our Stanley Cup champion. And if we're feeling energetic, we'll give our Hart Trophy, Calder Trophy. Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to do the Hart Calder. We're going to go through it all next week on a super long, probably, episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast. All right, Blake.
What division do you want to start in?
We're not going to go division. We're either going to go it's alphabetically on my sheet. But you know what? Everybody does alphabetically, and then Blake's got a freaking
I did it by division
PowerPoint chart here, which is pretty damn cool. I actually like it, Blake. I'm not even making fun of you. I actually like it.
Yeah, I did.
Well, good. Well, I'm going to mess with you because you know what we're going to do?
I did it by divisions.
Everybody goes starts at Anaheim and works their way down.
Yeah.
Piss on that. We're starting at Winnipeg and we're going up.
All right.
And I kind of want to talk about Winnipeg right away. And God, my voice is already going. Sounds awful. Oof.
Yeah, Winnipeg, man.
Okay, let's talk Winnipeg. Let's give the point total. I'm getting my numbers here. Okay, Winnipeg. They got them at 95.5. What are you, over or under?
I'm under that. They got significantly worse. I mean, two of their top forwards are still not signed. They took a huge hit on the back end this summer, and Bufflin might not even be playing. He might be hanging him up at the age of 34, which does free him up some cap. But I think they're going to be there. I think they're going to struggle a little bit this year.
I know you're going to think I'm crazy on this one. I'm going to go over, and here's why. Because sometimes things that look good on paper don't always plan out like we had planned. Winnipeg looked like world beaters the last 2 years on paper. Didn't work. The year Washington won the Cup, that was the year everybody thought they were going to take the decline. Now, I'm not saying Winnipeg by any means is winning the Cup. Not even close. I do think they're going to be a contender in that Central. I don't think they'll win the division. We'll get to that next week. But I'm going to put them down at over on that. They got adversity here, but they got some young talent I really, really like. So I'm going to go over.
But the Central's one of the best divisions in the league, so it's going to be tough sledding.
It is.
And the problem
I'm not disagreeing on that.
The problem is, and
that was one of my harder picks.
All the teams are just going to beat the crap out of each other in that division. All those teams are just going to beat up on each other. So
I know.
We'll see how it plays out.
I know. Washington, 96.5. Over or under?
I'm going to go over.
I am too.
Over
They're
this
back.
one. Yeah, they're good. I think they're going to take the division this year.
Well, don't talk. Don't
Just
spill
gotta
the
give
beans,
him a little
dude.
spoiler, sneak peek.
God, people aren't going to listen next week because they're going to. Actually, they will be like, God, Blake picking the Oilers again this year. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Vegas, 100.5. What are you over or under on that one?
I'm gonna go under. I think that they're still gonna be a good team, but I think they're gonna be around maybe like the 97, 96 range.
Okay, injuries are critical in hockey, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why I have them as an under on this one. Now, I'm not being disrespectful to Vegas. Because I better not be, because they burned me every year here since they've came into the league.
A couple of years ago, yeah.
Okay, but here's the deal on this. If Marc-Andre Fleury gets injured,
oh, they're screwed.
This team will not make the playoffs.
But that's with every starting goal.
No,
Unless you're the
not
Chicago
true.
Blackhawks or something.
No, not true. There's a lot of teams that are not running with a starter anymore.
Oh, no, they got 1A, 1B.
Yes. Vegas has 1A
and
F
yeah.
2.
Come on, Malcolm Suma's not bad, is he? He's not that bad, huh?
He, to me, and I'm not... He's the worst backup in the
He's not very good, no. Just got to be blunt and honest.
Vegas is getting old. It's not crazy to say they're getting old. Okay, they're not getting old, but I don't know. I just think this team is going to have 100 points is hard.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a good hockey team. I think this is a playoff hockey team. I don't think it's 100 points.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the fourth team. And that is the Vancouver Canucks. They have the Vancouver Canucks at 90.5. Are you over or under?
I'm over. I got them.
Big shocker.
No, I got them getting
Wow.
around 96 points.
Okay.
You know, they
Have you actually looked at their depth chart?
I have.
Okay.
They got. I like their depth, especially on the back end. I
Interesting.
mean, we've battled a lot of injuries on the back end the last couple of years, and you know, Hugh Levy is good to go. He's starting in the AHL, but he'll be
He's good to go. He's not even on your roster.
No, but he'll be. I'm talking about it for depth. He'll be coming up because we're gonna get injuries. We get injuries every year.
Every team does, Blake.
And I like the additions in our top six. I mentioned that last week with Ferland and Miller. Ferland.
Has Ferland done one thing in preseason yet? Has he
It doesn't
played
matter.
Yet? No, but has he even played?
He had 2 points last game.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. He's playing in Pedersen.
Oh, shit. I could get 2 points with Pedersen.
Yeah, I got him over. What about you?
I got him under. And I'm not knocking Vancouver, but they are one more year away. They have this team. You're being a delusional Canucks fan.
I'm not.
And I'm not ripping on you here because I'm that way with my team at certain moments. Except for last year, you got to admit, even when Calgary was kicking butt last year, I backed the brakes all year, didn't I? Mm-hmm. And we'll get to Calgary later. I got some issues with Calgary.
They're going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Vancouver is going to be a good hockey team. They're not a 90-point hockey team yet. Now, will they be probably next year? Yeah, probably. This year's critical. Now, the most, you're going to say, well, it was true for every team. And you're right, it is. But Markstrom was really good last year.
Hey, he's in a contract year. He's a lot of pressure on the guy.
I think if I had to put money down in Vegas on it, I'd say he's good again this year. Because I think he's a good goalie.
Yeah.
But we'll see. That's a lot of pressure on him now.
And I think that, honestly, the biggest factor in whether the Canucks go overnight is Demko. Because he's going to play 25 games. They're going to give him lots of opportunities. They got to stay healthy.
Your bottom six is shaky as all. Get up.
I mean, I don't know.
Blake, come on here.
It depends. You know who looks really good in preseason is Brandon Sutter.
Brandon Sutter's been in the league for 7 years.
I don't care. He's also been hurt for the last 3. And,
Blake, if you're pinning your hopes on Brandon Sutter,
he's a good third line center.
Okay.
And he hasn't been healthy. Now he's got. It looks like he's got another hop in his jump here.
A hop in his jump,
or whatever, hop in his stride, whatever you want to call it.
We're hopping and jumping, and we'll jump right to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Toronto, 101.5, and Did you think a long time when you made this one? I mean, did you think? Okay, first of all, are you over or under?
I'm over.
You're over that.
They're gonna be up there with.
I'm under.
They're gonna be up there with Tampa Bay.
I told you he was a bandwagon fan.
No, they just look at their team.
Yeah, look at the back end.
They've improved their back end. They
have improved their back end
significantly. They added Muzzin at last year's deadline.
I do not understand why people love Muzzin.
They added Tyson Barrie, who is a stud.
Tyson Barrie's good.
CeCe, he's all right. I
don't mind Cody CeCe. He's functional.
He's a good fourth.
There's nothing wrong with him. Yep. They did get better on the back end. I still don't think they get 101. You want to know why I don't think they get 101? Because
look at their depth though.
They had tons of talent last year, and
they have last year 100 and something points.
Look at they were in the second half of the season. This team did not gel as good as once Nylander came into the picture. They started losing.
I mean, he's got a full year of full camp in him.
No,
he's gonna be better.
That is not
Tavares.
How is he not going to be better?
You got Matthews.
I know, but
they added Kerfoot for Kadri. They're still a good hockey. They're still a great hockey team.
Okay, on to the Tampa Bay Lightning. 108.5 over or under, Blake?
I'm gonna go under.
I am too.
I just don't think that they'll be able to replicate last year because that was impressive.
You know what?
That won't be done ever again.
I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are the best team in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
But I think they learned something last year, and that is scoring 128 points looks good in the newspaper every Monday or every morning, but it really doesn't get you anywhere.
Well, it puts a huge target on your back, right?
It does. And this team is going to come back.
They saw that in the playoffs.
Pissed off. But you know what? I think they're going to focus on progression towards the postseason. And I don't think it equals 108.5 points.
Well, I like what they did. I like their addition of Patty Maroon.
I do too.
I like that pick.
I do too.
You know, he was a big part of St. Louis's cup run. I mean, he didn't put up much points.
He won't put up a lot of points.
He's not going to put up a lot of points, but I think he's a good leader in the room, and he knows what it takes to win, right? So, I mean, that's a big get for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Now, let's talk defending Stanley Cup champions. They have the St. Louis Blues at 96.5. Are you over or are you under, Blake?
I'm under.
I am too.
I just don't think that Bennington's going to be able to replicate what he did last year.
Well, I don't know. That's too much to ask. I think reality sets in.
There's obviously going to be a little hangover.
I don't mean December reality. I mean...
Yeah, they're still going to be a respectable team, but I just don't think. I think they're going to be hovering around like the 90-point range, maybe.
I would say 93, 94.
Yeah,
I don't think they're far under by any means.
They're going to be under though.
Yep, I got them as under also. Let's roll on to the San Jose Sharks. 93.5. Are you over or are you under?
This team just worries me a little bit. They're pretty old, right? And they got an old core. They got a lot of money locked up on the back end. I'm gonna go under.
Wow,
I'm gonna go under.
I'm over by a lot.
A lot? Like what? What's a lot? Like 5 points?
Probably.
You see, I don't know.
I like it. I like Logan Couture. I like what Evander Kane brings to the table.
But what else do they have?
Timo Meier, Thomas
They literally just lost their heart and soul of the team.
I don't know if that's a bad one.
Pavelski is going to light it up in Dallas. You watch.
I don't think he will.
He is. He's going to score 30-plus goals again.
I don't think he will.
All right.
I don't.
So why do you like San Jose so much? They don't really got much. They got Timo Meier. They got old Joe Thornton, Couture.
I'm not counting Thornton.
But I'm just saying, like, are you counting on Carlson to score you 25 goals?
No.
Oh, that's what I'm asking. Who's going to score you all your goals?
Logan Couture.
Okay.
Timo Meier.
Okay. Who else? There's not much.
Yeah, but you know what?
They don't have much. Their offense.
San Jose finds a way to put. They're a team that all of a sudden it's like, where did this young guy come from? But they develop good.
If they don't get significant production for their back end, they're going to finish lower than 93.5. I'm not banking on your defense putting up points.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
Is Carlson? Is he?
No,
I
don't know that Carlson's healthy.
Is he going
all
to be
year.
timid? Is he going to be healthy?
I don't think he's going to be healthy.
He's not built for the West.
I don't.
He's really not.
I said the same thing as you this summer. I don't think so. I don't think Carlson's the answer. I think giving him that money was crazy.
A huge mistake.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This is their last kick at the can in my mind.
Their window is slammed shut. Their Stanley Cup window is closed. It was closed years ago.
Explain to me last year then.
When they went to the Stanley Cup final and they lost, that's when their window closed.
What about last year?
What about last year?
That was a hell of a run, Blake.
They didn't. They made it to the third round.
Conference finals.
And then they got worse. So how does that keep your window open? If you want to keep your window open, you bring back your captain, Pavelski.
They couldn't afford him. They paid Carlson too much. They did.
I know.
That's what
I'm at. That's what I'm telling you. Who would you rather have?
I'd rather have Pavelski.
Exactly.
But you're also asking a guy that would rather have a minor leaguer, because I don't think paying big dollars like that makes any sense at all, especially for that term either. So I'm the wrong guy to ask there. But
yeah.
Pittsburgh Penguins, 94.5. Blake, do you have them over or under?
Under.
Wow.
Slightly under.
I have them over.
Slightly under.
I don't think this team is dead.
I thought a lot about this one.
I did too.
The comments by Malkin in the summer kind of concerned me a little bit. How they said, if you don't trade Kessel, trade me, kind of thing. But I mean, you still got a good core there, right? You got Crosby, you got Malkin. They brought in Galchenyuk.
I've never been a Matt Murray fan.
No, neither have I.
I think the Pittsburgh Penguins are a team though that are kind of like San Jose. I mean, do they have another kick at the can?
I mean, you got Crosby and Sid, right? I mean,
Crosby and Sid,
or Crosby and Malkin, right?
Yeah. That's as good a 1-2 punch as there is in the league. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this one. Maybe I'm wrong.
It all lays on the shoulders of Murray.
It does. I'm not a big Murray guy.
He's the backbone of the team, and he just hasn't shown me the last couple of years that he can get it done.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one. I went over. I might be wrong on this one. I don't know. The more I think about it, I might be wrong on that one. But let's roll on to the next team, the Philadelphia Flyers. They are 90.5. Blake, you had the Philadelphia Flyers.
I got over
or under.
I got over. I like their additions this year. And
I have them under.
And a full year of Carter Hart, I think, is going to be great for them.
We aren't getting all these right. You know what pushed me under? I think the Kevin Hayes signing is
horrible, but they also brought in like a guy like JVR, right?
I like JVR.
JVR is a good signing. A full year of Carter Hart. They
got Niskanen now.
Yeah, they
I like that.
They're gonna be a good hockey team, but that Kevin Hayes, Kevin Hayes is a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's gonna score you 60, 65 points, but he ain't worth 7-7.
That's what I'm saying. What pressure is that going to put on him now, though?
You didn't do anything in Winnipeg when they were in the playoffs.
No, he was
but
unheard of.
He also wasn't really deployed properly, but we'll see what happens with Philly. I think they're gonna go over 90.5.
Rolling on to I don't know. This is an interesting one. The Ottawa Senators, 68.5. Over or under, Blake?
I got under, man. I just don't think this team is that good. Like, they're horrible.
They scored 64 points last year. Their point total was 64. Why do I keep saying scored? They didn't score that. I got them as over, and here's why I got them as over. There's one reason. This team has nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose.
Their owner's a dipstick.
Yeah. There's a couple dipstick owners.
They have they got some good young talent. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I got them under 68.5. They're going to be good in a few years.
You can say that about everybody though, Blake. I don't know. This team's definitely not built to even get to the 64-point mark, but
no,
or 68.5 mark that Vegas has them set at. But I do have them over. New York Rangers. This one is probably a little bit more interesting. 87.5. Over or under, Blake?
I got them under. I'll tell you why. They accelerated the rebuild by getting Kako and Panarin. And they brought in Jacob Trouba. But they're not there yet. I mean, you can't rebuild a team overnight. I mean, you can't rebuild a team in one off season. It just doesn't work like that. So I got them under, but they're going to be good. They're going to be good in a couple of years.
I have the New York Rangers. We aren't agreeing on any of these, which is weird because this summer we agreed upon everything, and now we don't agree upon anything. I have them over. I like Jacob Trouba. I think Kako is going to be amazing this year. Artemi Panarin is probably going to disappoint because what are the expectations for that
price tag?
What are the expectations for that young man? Do I think New York is going to be a great team this year? No, I don't. I think they're going to be okay, and I think they're going to get over that 87.5.
The biggest concern I have is how much gas is left to tank at Lundqvist. I mean, he's getting up there in age.
So I'm okay with their backup goalie.
They're the same one as last year?
Alexander Gregor, I can't say his last name.
Gorgiev.
Gorgiev, there you go.
Yeah.
Blake's right.
Gorgiev. He's not a bad backup.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, but he's
looked good.
But he ain't going to be able to start 40 games. Because Lundqvist's max is probably 55.
He had a couple stretches last year that I thought he looked good, but then I had a couple stretches where I thought he was bad. But yeah. I could say the same for Lundqvist.
Yeah.
Right? I mean.
Yep.
New York Islanders are our next topic. 92.5, Blake.
Under.
Do you have the Islanders over or under?
Under. Their magic's done. They're taking a step back.
I think I have them under also. Robin Lehner gone. Barry Trotz's still there. Barry Trotz
Varlamov?
I am not a Varlamov fan.
Oh my God. They let go of Lehner to sign Varlamov. I mean, that's just a head scratcher.
I don't think they're getting to that point, Patel.
No.
They had 103 last year. They're
going to be 12 less. They're going to be around.
So you got them close, though. 12 less of 103 is.
They're going to be
91.
They're going to be around like 88 points.
Okay.
So they're about 15 less, maybe.
Middle school math from Blake.
I'm not a very good math guy. I'm in math this year in college.
New Jersey Devils, 89.5. Blake, do you have the Devils over or under?
Oh, over. I'm smacking the over on this one. I have to smack the over on this one.
Blake, there is nothing proven there, and their goaltender didn't win a game for over a year.
Listen, Corey Schneider's having a bounce back here. You heard it here on record. What's the date today?
Who cares? It's episode 72, Blake.
You heard it, episode 72. Go back. Corey Schneider's having a good year.
Okay. He's going to have to, or they're dead.
They added PK Subban.
That's nothing.
They got
That is nothing.
Or they got Jack Hughes, who is going to be a stud.
Gonna be. But
Taylor Hall's healthy again. They got a bunch of young talent. Nico Hischier. Hischier, whatever you say, his Swiss name. They're going to be a good hockey team. They're going to be on the bubble to make the playoffs.
I don't.
Because I think there's going to be 5 from the Atlantic. So there's going to be.
They had 72 points last year, Blake.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're going to improve by 16 points?
Yep.
Wow.
I do.
Do we have to order you a Devils jersey?
Nope. Just making predictions.
Folks, check Season 1 and Season 2 prediction show, and you're going to learn not to place your money on what Blake predicts.
I think they're going to be over 89.
Okay. Nashville Predators, 97.5. Blake, over or under?
I got them over.
I do too.
I like their tandem with Rene and Saros.
Top tandem in the league.
Yep. They added Duchesne, but last week I said Duchesne might be the one that disappoints. But I mean, he's still a good ad for them, right? I mean, he makes them a lot deeper down the middle with Johansson and Duchesne and maybe Kyle Turris has a bounce back.
That's
here.
what I was going to say.
I don't know. I mean, I don't
think he's going to have an awesome year, but I think he's going to get better this year, and I think he's going to. But you know what I think the biggest thing for Nashville is? They've had a giant target on their back for 3 years now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And now this year, that target's going to be gone. Everybody's talking like Nashville might not make the playoffs. I think this team goes over 97.5.
Yep, I'd agree.
Goaltending wins.
Yep.
Goaltending wins. Montreal Canadiens, 88.5, over or under?
Slightly over.
That's what I have, too.
Slightly over.
That's what I wrote.
They'll be around like 93 points.
Ryan Poehling.
He's out with a concussion right now, but boy, that guy's an electric. I got to see him play last year in North Dakota. I went UND versus St. Cloud Huskies game, and you could just tell. I mean, he was buzzing on the ice, and he's going to be a good kid to watch.
I still question this team's offensive talent.
Yeah,
but it's getting better. It's getting better.
But at the end of the day,
they scored 96. They had a point total of 96 last year. How do I argue that?
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, regardless of what you get offensively, you got one of the best goaltenders in the world in net, right? Carey Price, and if he stays healthy and he regains Hart Trophy form, they're going to be right there.
Minnesota Wild, Blake, they have them at 85.5. Do you have the Minnesota Wild?
Under.
I have them under by a lot.
Under by like 10.
This is what's goofy. Now listen to this. The Minnesota Wild had 83 points in the standings last year. Yep. And Vegas has them at 85.5. So they're saying that they think they're a better team this year. This team to me is a gong show.
They have a lot of overpaid contracts. So many. They got
Zucker's overpaid, Zuccarello's overpaid, Spurgeon's, and they just did the Spurgeon and he's overpaid. Oh my God.
Soder, Dubnyk. Who else we got here? Keep naming something.
Doesn't even matter, man. This team's loaded for crappiness.
75 points max.
That's right, man.
They're going to be about as good as the LA Kings.
I think the Kings might even be better. I like the Kings.
They're going to be in top 5 lottery pick.
At least the Kings have some younger talent.
Yeah, I mean they got like Kyle Clegg. They got
Kyle Clegg.
Kyle Clegg, yeah. And then they got who's that center they drafted from OHL a couple years ago?
We'll figure it out here later.
Yeah.
On to the team we're talking about, Los Angeles Kings. Under or over 73.5?
I think they're going to be a little bit over. I think they'll be around like 70, 76, 77
They
points.
had 71 last year. I'd say they're going to be about the same. I got them as under.
Yeah, you can go either way.
This team's not going to be good. They're not going to get. I don't think they're going to be worse. I think they're going to be about exactly what they were last year. But not a lot to say about LA. Their team is.
It's just that you won your 2 cups, and at the end of the day, you eventually got to rebuild.
And I think they're doing that, and I think they're going to end up being fine and everything. But it takes time. You can't just do it in a year.
Yeah.
Florida Panthers, 96.5. Blake, do you have the Florida Panthers over 96.5 or under?
I'm going to go over.
Me too.
I love Bobrovsky.
I can't believe I'm going over because you know what? I have picked this team so many times to be like, all right, this is the year they make the playoffs, and they stink.
But the difference is they haven't had a goalie.
They had your hero, Roberto Luongo.
And he's 36, 37, 38 years old. I mean, at that stage of Luongo's career, I mean, I love the guy to death, but he's just not the same goalie.
They had 86 points last year, which was a huge...
with no goaltending. They had a top 5 offense in the league.
I know they did. I'm a huge Alexander Barkov fan.
If they had goaltending, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're
easily.
Right. No,
they're
you're
100% in the playoffs, and they had a probably top 7 goalie in the NHL. I would say right now, and Bobrovsky. With that offense, that young talent, they're gonna be a good team. I think they're probably going to be around the 100-point range.
I don't know if, well, obviously we both picked them over, so
yeah.
I mean they're going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'll get over 100, but they might.
They're definitely a playoff team, though.
I'm with you on that one. Edmonton Oilers, 85.5. Blake, do you have the Edmonton Oilers over or under?
I have them under, man.
I have them under too, but I don't have them under by a. I don't have them under by a lot.
82 points.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
But like this team just has no depth on the wing. Their goaltending is not very good. I mean, they have Koskinen and Mike Smith. That's just disaster right there.
I disagree.
They gave Koskinen $4.5 million, way too overpaid.
I think Koskinen's going to be good this year.
He hasn't looked good in the preseason, not once.
I don't take any stake in goaltenders preseason.
But the thing is, like, in the preseason, you want to see your goaltender put up some decent numbers.
I have Edmonton under, but not by much. They had 79 points last year. I think they're going to be in that 82 range. And you know why I think that? Is because they have a guy coaching now behind the bench in David Tippett, which this guy's been successful everywhere he's been. He knows structure and he teaches structure, and I think that'll help Edmonton.
They don't have the pieces though.
They don't.
I'm with you. They just don't.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I mean, there's only so much a coach can do.
Got about 12 more teams to go through here. Detroit Red Wings, 75.5. Over or under?
They're going to be under.
I have them under 2. They're just too young.
There's not too much to talk about with that.
I like their draft.
Just a young team. Yeah, they had a really
But
good
that
draft.
means 4 years from now they'll be okay.
And Stevie Y's running their team. I think he'll turn it around quick.
They're on the right track. It's just going to take some time.
Yep.
Dallas Stars, over or under 96.5.
I'm expecting big things from Dallas this year. They added Pavelski. They got one of the best goalies in the league, Ben Bishop. I think he's a good goalie. They have pretty much the exact same team as last year, right? And I think they're going to be over.
I have them over. I think it's finally the year that things come together in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I love their goaltending.
Yep. They got a good backup too. They
were so bad to. They're so bad to. How do I word this? They're so bad to be good. They were so bad now for so long. When they are expected to be good,
they're bad.
That now finally they'll be good. 93 points last year. I got them over the 96.5. I like Corey Perry signing. Everybody hates that.
I forgot about Corey Perry.
Everybody hates that guy, but
that was such a low risk, high reward signing. 1 year, $3 million with incentives. What do you got to lose, right?
I think it's good. I think it's really good. I like that. I like Dallas this year.
Yeah.
Columbus Blue Jackets 84.5 for a team that had 98 points last year. Blake, over?
They're going under, man. They have no goaltending. They got Jonas Corposalo, who has little to no experience starting. Right?
I don't mind Corposalo at all.
I don't mind him at all, but I mean, is he a guy that you can ride 50, 55, 60 games? I don't think so.
Why not?
He hasn't had the experience.
He hasn't had the opportunity to.
It doesn't matter.
Blake, what are they going to do? Sit Bobrovsky?
Dude, they're
going to be under. I think this team lost a ton. Probably more.
They lost what?
Than any other team besides Winnipeg.
Panarin, Bobrovsky.
But for Vegas to have them dropping 13.5 points, I think that's wrong. They have them at 84.5. I think they're over, but I think they're over by probably score 85 points or 85 points in the standing. I don't think by much. I don't have this team. 4. I don't have this team being great by any means, but I think they're going to be okay. Colorado Avalanche 98.5. Over or under?
Over. They're this team is going to be. This team is loaded. This team is loaded.
I'm with you.
I think Grubauer is a good goalie, and a lot of people knock on him. We'll see what they got with their backup with this Francouz kid. That might be a little concern there. But their offense is just so Rantanen. I think he's going to sign a bridge deal.
If they can get Rantanen in the place, this team has a lot of pieces.
But, I got a question about, or we can talk about that later, right? Are we going to talk about RFAs later in the show? Okay, so we'll bring that up later. Yeah, I think they're going to be over, though.
I like this team. I put them up as one of the elite teams in the league.
If I had to pick a team to win the West, I'd probably go with Colorado.
Well, you'll let us know next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't give it away, Blake.
Got to give him a sneak peek.
Yeah, you're full of sneak peeks. Chicago Blackhawks, over or under 90.5? They had 84 points last year.
I'm going to go under.
I've got them over, and here's why.
I was going to go, I've him and hot about this, right? I mean, they got a good, if Crawford could stay healthy, they got a really good 1-2 punch there with Crawford and Lehner, but, I mean, they're going to be under. They're going to improve from 84 last year, but they're going to be under 90.
They had one of the worst defenses in the league last year and still got to 84.
And they traded one of their best D-men away in the offseason. They traded him to...
They acquired Ole Mata from Pittsburgh, so that's a good signing. And they got Kelvin DeHaan from the Carolina Hurricanes.
They traded...
So...
It was for... Alex Nylander. They traded away that good young defenseman.
Yeah, but he's irrelevant at this point of his career, Blake.
He put up points for them last year. I'm going to go look him up. Gotta go look.
Do we need to pause the show for you to look it up, Blake, or should I just go on?
We'll go on the fly. I'll come back to it.
We'll go on here. Team up next, Carolina Hurricanes, 95.5. Blake, do you have Carolina over or under?
Under.
Me too.
I got him under. I mean,
last year was a flash in the pan.
Last year was a fluke.
Last year was a flash in the pan. I hope you enjoyed it, Carolina fans, because it's going to be a
long decade.
Long decade. There's no,
we're being savages this episode.
I think we're being truthful though. We can't love every team,
but like
you were beating their drum all year last year, so they should love you.
Yeah.
You're doing dances.
Henry,
you're doing dances after games.
Jokey Haru.
You were tweeting
him
ideas for the Surge. You were doing everything last year. You probably got a Hurricanes shirt. What? Who are you talking about now?
Henry Jokiharju.
Oh,
that's who they traded. He was good. He was a good defenseman last year.
That's earth-shattering in the NHL right there, guys.
No, listen, though. He had 17 points in 38 games last year on the back end.
Okay, but wait a second, Blake. What's his plus minus? Isn't a defenseman supposed to keep the puck out of the net? Isn't that their job? Like these guys just read off stats about defensemen. It's like, well, that's fine and dandy, but how many guys walked him?
But I don't care. He's still.
I do. How many turnovers did he have in the slot?
I don't know.
You know,
but that trade didn't really make sense for the Hawks.
Well, maybe he's a pile of garbage in the locker room.
Alex Nylander.
Okay, on to the next team. Well, Chicago's going to survive. On to the next team. Calgary Flames, 96.5 over or under.
I mean, they're going to be over.
I think so, too. They're not going to get the 107 they got last year.
They'll be around the 103 probably.
98. 100. 98, 100.
Yeah. They'll be all right.
I think they'll be fine.
Yep.
Buffalo Sabres, 83.5 over or under?
Over slightly.
Over slightly. They had 76 points last year. Vegas thinks they're going to be better this year, giving them 83.5.
They'll get like 85 points.
Crazy in the head.
85 points.
This team's going to be under. They've shown no signs of improvement at all. At all. And they did nothing to show me any hope that they're going to be any better.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
I'm looking at the wrong thing here.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. No, I got Buffalo under. I was looking at Boston. It is right underneath. Yeah, Buffalo is under. I was looking at Boston.
Boston sits at 100.5 points. Do you have Boston over or
I got
under?
Boston over.
So do I.
Yeah, I think Boston's
107
really
points last year.
I don't think they're not going to get that much points.
No, but they're as good as any team in the league.
And they got McAvoy in a hell of a deal.
I don't care about that.
Honestly,
that team's just they're good.
He's gonna win. He's gonna win a Norris. Yes, he is. One of these days, one of these years, he's gonna win Norris. He's a good defenseman. Who's next?
Blake. Arizona Coyotes, 90.5. Blake, do you have Arizona over or under?
I got him under. I got him under.
Me too. There's nobody to score on this team.
They're good. They got Phil Kessel.
Oh boy,
who are they going to put him with though?
Exactly.
I mean, he's going to score a quiet 30 goals.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's going to be playing with Clayton Keller. But other than that, they don't really got nobody. He's going to put up a quiet 30 goals. And at the end of the year, you're going to go, wow, Phil Kessel had 30 goals? You're not going to notice it. But he's going to score 30.
We'll see. Final team. The 31.
Anaheim Ducks.
They have them at 79.5. Blake, do you have Anaheim over or under?
I got them under, man. They're just not that good of a hockey team.
I have them over. I think they have one of the better goaltenders in the league. I think this is
he going to stay healthy?
I don't know.
He hasn't stayed healthy the last 2 years.
Carey Price going to stay healthy?
He stayed healthy last year.
I don't know. I like Ricard Raquel. I like Andre Case. Troy Terry is going to be a great prospect. Sam Steele is good. Mm-hmm. They got some guys coming up. I don't look at this team to be, they had 80 points last year. I think they're going to do about the same, which is just over a little bit. Not much.
Yeah.
Well, Blake, we argued at them about 15 of the 31, but I guess that's par.
You want to get into the hot topics, the RFA talk?
Let's do it a little bit here. Brock Besser signs as we were recording last week. That's so typical, man.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, we were pushing the credits for the show,
Yeah.
and it was coming across Twitter. But that's the way it goes. Brock Besser, what do you think of that signing?
Oh, man, what a deal. I can't believe that the Canucks got this term and this AAV and a guy like Besser. I mean, Besser is betting on himself. That's what he's doing with this contract. I mean, the last 2 years he hasn't stayed healthy. He's got a top line with the Canucks with Pettersson this year, and it's a backloaded contract. He gets $4 million this year, $6 million, and 7.5, which will be the qualifying offer in 3 years. I love the deal for Vancouver. They were pressed for cap, and you got a little bit of a team friendly deal, and then the next contract will be a big one for him.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you. I think Brock Besser is one of my favorite players in the league. I think it's a good signing. I think it's good for Besser. I think it's good for the Canucks, and I think they will both go on their merry way and help the Canucks get to be a better team than they were last year. Braden Point signs today. 3 years, 6.75 AAV. Tell me what your thoughts are on that one, Mike.
This makes Marner's contract look absolutely horrible. This guy, listen to this. I saw this stat on Twitter. Braden Point had 2 less points, 15 more goals, and he's making $4 million less.
But it's a different player in a different situation. I think you got guys like Marner that just want money. I think Braden Point's
and that's the reason why they won't win the Stanley Cup.
I know. I'm with you.
They won't win because they're greedy.
I'm with you.
I look at Braden Point.
I look at Braden Point. I think he went, I'll still be rich.
I can still get my money
on the Cup contender.
I can
go somewhere, and if I look at if I go and I look at people that have cap space, I don't want to play there.
No.
So I think he was a smart man.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very smart. He probably could have got double digits. I'm sure he could have got double digits. But Tampa Bay said, all right, listen, we're tight for cap. We're going to give you 6.7 for 3 years, and we're going to go for it within the cap. Right? I mean, that's the basic knowledge that I can think of.
I'm with you. I think it's good. I can't argue this. This is a great signing.
Yeah.
I also think he's set himself up to win the Stanley Cup.
And he's getting $9 million in his third year. I mean, teams are getting creative with the backloaded bridge deals for these RFAs. I think they're going to go down the road with Rantanen too.
Another topic that kind of broke just hours before our first podcast last week, or first of this season, I guess, was CBA piece, and it looks like we're going to get a few more years here of CBA piece, and I think that's good news for hockey. Not a lot to comment on. I think it was smart for the National Hockey League and smart for the players to
open it up,
keep things going and keep things going good.
It's a 50-50 split, right?
Same thing as what we're running on right now. So that's good news for the league.
Yeah.
Shabbat signs in Ottawa and praises Ottawa. I think this is great for Ottawa.
It is. I mean, Ottawa's
good.
Ottawa's been
to the curb
going
so
through
many
some
times.
tough times. They've been going through some tough times. So for the fans to get some commitment from one of their bright young star defensemen, it's great. It's a great selling point for the fans. For a guy like Thomas Shabbat to commit 8 times 8, and it kicks in next season, so it'll be a bargain. It's gonna be a bargain.
Let's talk RFAs now. Is Patrick Laine the one that's probably the biggest sticking point? I don't see this one happening this year. And I think this one going all the way through December.
Patrick Laine will be this year's William Nylander.
Will he sign at the last minute? I don't even think he'll sign this year.
Dude, honestly, I think he might go play in Europe.
Well, I think he's already said that.
He might go play in Finland this year.
He is. He's played in...
It would not surprise me.
Playing in? He's already announced he's playing in another league.
It wouldn't surprise me one bit if he didn't play the whole year.
Wouldn't surprise
and if you're in Winnipeg, and what do you do?
I'm said.
I'd trade him.
What are you going to get?
I'd trade him.
What are you going to get? What are you going to get?
I don't know what you'll get, but I'd trade him.
He calls bluff. Let him go. Let him go play over there. Let's see how he likes it there.
Yeah.
When he's on a bus or he's in some crap-ass airport in some crappy airplane. I guess it's going to be some good medicine. Sticking on
That's what the Leafs should have done with Marner. Should have let him go to Zurich.
Winnipeg Jets talk still. Dustin Byfuglien no-shows for... First off, I'm not going to rip on him too bad, but I am going to speak my mind a little bit on this topic because it irritates me. Okay, so he doesn't show to camp and now says that he's contemplating whether he wants to be a National Hockey League player. Now, that is your prerogative. That is up to you. Mm-hmm. What pisses me off about this is he's just telling Winnipeg now this. Just all of a sudden, right as camp opens up, this, oh, well, now I'm just not coming. Now I'm going to go out and fish a little bit and decide. They could have stayed hard on Tyler Myers. They could, come on, like, why don't you tie Cheveldayoff's hand? What are you doing to your teammates? What are you doing to your teammates?
It is a big kick in the face of the team because
he's supposed to be a team leader. This isn't what a leader does.
At the end of the day, that's one of my 3 questions too, so we won't get into that much.
What?
Well, it's about the Jets' off season, but they lost a lot in their back end, and if Byfuglien does retire, that's a huge loss. I mean, yeah. I mean, they get a cap recapture penalty of, I think, $700,000. So they open up roughly $7 million cap. So, I mean, that'll help them in the long run to give them more money to sign line.
Well, I think it's probably fine in the long run. I mean, they might be better off without him in the long run. But come on, the timing pisses me off. I think it's probably a good thing for the Jets long term.
Yeah.
But God dang it.
It's a horrible contract, too.
Well, why do players do that? I mean, he couldn't have just decided this in August. I mean, he had to have known that he was having second thoughts. And if you are, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But after the season's over, why don't you call up Cheveldayoff in June and be like, you know, dude, I don't know about this, man. I just don't know if I can do this any longer.
Yeah.
And at least let him plan ahead. Yeah. Don't handcuff your team.
Yeah.
That makes it really, really tough. And that's the part that's so darn frustrating is it just... I don't know. It puts the Jets in a difficult situation. You ready to go on to 3 questions? Should we do that?
You don't want to talk about your boy?
What boy?
Chucky.
What do you got to say?
Rantanen.
Well, I don't know what to say anymore. We've talked about him so much. I mean,
do you think that the Kachuk is going to be similar to Besser and Point?
Yeah.
With a backloaded?
Yeah. I think he gets done next week.
Is it just in time? You don't think he'll miss any games?
Probably, just for conditioning.
Yeah. He's skating with the London Knights, I saw.
I don't care.
Okay, 3 questions.
I don't care.
Inside Edge Hockey News. Lighting the lamp and raising the cup.
It's time for 3 questions.
Blake, I gave them to you last week. It's your turn to give me the 3 questions. Let's have it.
So, with Point and Marner's newest contracts out, who would you rather have to build your team around?
Besser or Point?
No. Point or Marner?
Point or Marner? Point. I think I don't know him personally, but I think he's a better straight-up guy.
Yeah.
And I build teams on straight-up guys, not so much talent all the time. Marner's got great talent, and so does Point. But I don't know. My gut tells me the Point's the guy to go with.
I'd go with Point, too. My second question is, do you think Winnipeg regrets lack of movement in the summer with all that's going on right now? There's lack of depth in the back end.
I don't think they had a choice. They had to leave cap. If they had any chance of signing Laine or Connor, they had to leave cap. They did exactly that. Everything else that's happened to them has been freaking blindsiding them. It's not their fault. They've done everything correct. They couldn't go out and sign a bunch of guys because they didn't have the money because all of a sudden then they could lose Kyle Connor. They have to leave some money for Laine to try to meet in the middle, or they lose Laine for nothing. So this team is in a hell of a tough spot.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be in a tough spot, there's only a few GMs I'd trust, and Cheveldayoff is one of them.
Third question, which coach has the most pressure heading into the season?
Mike Babcock.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Mike Babcock, and I got Travis Green, too.
Yeah, but that's not fair to Travis Green.
No, I know, but I'm saying
that team's not even close to being talented
enough.
But
this is the first year that Travis Green's got actual talent
Does he though?
Up front in the top. He actually has a top 6 now. So I think there's going to be some little bit of pressure on him. But I think if Mike Babcock doesn't get out of the first round this year, he's fired.
Well, absolutely, he's fired.
Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
No.
So
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Time for listener question. We had a good one last week. You called it the best one of the year, or best one of the show ever. Mm-hmm. And I've got one this week that I kind of like about equally. Mm-hmm. From Paul Taylor in Scarborough, Ontario. His question is, in the next CBA, should the league institute a tax leveling clause where salaries will adjust to meet that state's or province's income tax, equalizing the league so that teams like Florida, Washington, Vegas don't have tax advantages over teams like Edmonton, Calgary, Minnesota, and states such as that?
It would be cool to even out the playing field. I mean, I got guys like Tampa Bay, right? They can give out less AAV, right? Because you're not getting as deducted as to say a contract like Mitch Marner's where you get taxed a lot in Toronto, right?
Well, I mean, I think it sounds all good and well, but I think it's going to be a really, really hard thing to regulate. Because you wouldn't just be regulating it on the high-end contracts, you'd be regulating it on everybody's contract.
Yeah.
And I think the legalities of it would be tricky, too.
It's a creative
I think
way,
it's
though.
a creative and awesome way to even level it more, because it stinks if your team is one of those teams that,
gets taxed a lot.
and then there's arguments, too, and I can't argue it back, because, Florida, the Panthers don't get taxed, and they don't get to draw the guys like Tampa Bay does. Well, Tampa Bay is one of the best teams in the league, so, that's also helping them. So it's a double-edged sword going to Tampa Bay. But I love the concept. I love the idea. Not sure it's feasible. Not sure it's something that's going to happen. But, boy, that'd be pretty cool. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Debate Hockey. You can fire us questions right there. We take your question. We like it. We answer it on the show. It's your way to communicate with us. We want open communication. Also, follow our Facebook page at the Debate Hockey Podcast. Rate and review us on iTunes. If you're feeling really generous, check us out on Patreon and give us your donation. Subscribe to the Inside Edge Hockey newsletter. That'll come out once a month. We'll fire off our best podcast to you and our rankings, which is always fun. I love ranking teams. Yeah. Check out and support our sponsor this year, UBGM. They are launching here soon, and we are going to have a lot of fun proving our fantasy hockey knowledge with them with some great daily contests, and that's at ubgm.com. Well, Blake, another show in the books. Next week, I am super, super excited, because next week, it is prediction time.
Wouldn't it be incredible if there was a daily fantasy sports app that was built for hockey? And not just an afterthought to football and other sports? We are excited to introduce ubgm.com, the first hockey-centric daily fantasy app. UBGM will be launching later this fall and needs your feedback. Expert, casual, and new players welcome. Sign up at ubgm.com/thedebate to become a VIP member. Get connected. The Debate Hockey Podcast can be found on Twitter at Debate Hockey. Also, make sure you check us out on our Facebook page, The Debate Hockey Podcast. Brad Burud can be found on Twitter at Brad Burud, and co-host Blake Friars can also be found on Twitter at Friars_Blake. If you like what you hear, please rate and review us on Apple Podcast. The Debate Hockey Podcast can be found on all major podcast players. And please consider subscribing to the Inside Edge Hockey News on Patreon. That'll get you exclusive content and much more. Thanks again, and enjoy the hockey action.
Kevin Bieksa had come up and had a word with Westgarth a moment ago, and now Bieksa is going to face off against Westgarth, so the defenseman moves up for the Canucks.
Tortorella at the Vancouver bench is already looking at the
and here we
Calgary
go.
bench.
Line brawl to start this game.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com and on Twitter at InsideEdgeHOCKE and Facebook at Inside Edge Hockey News. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.